What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how's it going, bud?
It's going good. Another week on Earth.
Yes, sir.
One step closer to being a basketball player again. So I'm excited, dude. I can't wait. We've had a good weekend of sports, for the most part. Unless you're a South Florida person, then it hasn't been that great. But South Florida just keeps
There's a
fucking
lot of
getting
good in South
dubs,
Florida,
dude.
that's for
Like
sure.
even if University of Miami didn't win it, but they were there. FAU was almost against Miami there. Fucking the Panthers. Um, Marlins aren't shit, so who cares?
The Marlins have a dude that's batting over 400 right now, though.
Are you fucking serious?
403, Luis Arias. Yeah, he's batting
Holy
403
shit.
right now, or 402, something like that. And that's what 2 months into the season, so this is real stuff right now.
F1 was back for a second year. Like South Florida just keeps getting dubs. And then we got literally the best player.
The greatest signing of all time.
Yeah. Like the best. He's literally I don't know. This was a really bad season. We're talking about Lionel Messi, joining up with Inter Miami. Do they play at the Hard Rock?
Or do they built their own thing, I think.
Oh, they did?
Beckham's got a lot of money, dude. He can.
So I'll have to look up.
I don't know where they play.
So we were right. We talked about this literally 2 weeks ago, I think. But we were about 3 years too early.
Yeah.
Or our prediction was about 3. We figured he would go through another 2-3 year contract over in Europe somewhere. But hey, he's going to come here, and this is probably top 5 soccer players on earth right now. And this is something we haven't seen. Like David Beckham was nowhere near the top of his game when he came here, and the shit he was able to do was insane. Zlatan,
was coming back from an injury.
So, yeah, I mean, but before his injury, he was top 10.
Yeah,
top 10, top 15. So, yeah, Zlatan's probably the best that we've seen, and what he was able to do was still disgust us, but it was insane. So this is going to be absolutely incredible to watch. And going to Inter Miami, as you said, David Beckham's little franchise that is just starting up down there, and they haven't really been anything. And
yeah, they're like last place this year, I think.
Yeah,
they've already fired their coach.
Yeah, fucking Orlando, it's the best of them every time, and that's bad when you have Orlando City fans call in Inter Miami their second home.
Yeah.
But which I guess the only Orlando City fan I know down here says that. So I don't know if that's a real thing across actual soccer people.
I think so, because they want it to be a rivalry.
Oh, Orlando does? They just want attention.
Well, the MLS does. Because Orlando doesn't really have a rivalry, right? Like, so Orlando came into the league with Atlanta, and Atlanta has fucking dominated. So Orlando's like, they're not a rival. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. They're trying to go find somebody else that they can get.
Yeah. So I guess that's cool and all that good stuff. But that's gonna help, right? You feel like Messi is it charging? All right, cool. Like Messi's that LeBron type of player for soccer that can take a lottery team and flipping them into an NBA Finals type team. Like maybe not be able to win the MLS Cup, but definitely be able to give Miami a good 7-8 more dubs, which is a good bit of points, and keep them out of losses more so maybe than probably getting dubs, but keep them into getting points instead of just walking away with nothing.
It's tough because the MLS has proven to be, at least in its early stages, a little bit different from Europe, from Spain, from wherever all Messi has played, in the sense that the best player usually on the best team in the MLS is either a goalie or a scorer. And Messi is the midfielder, do everything kind of guy. And in Europe, that makes you the best fucking player on the team. That makes you the guy. There's no doubt he'll be the best player on the team. But the teams that win the championship usually have a goal scorer or a keeper that are lights out. Now, we have Vela. Obviously, that helped. But it was because we signed Bale and he came out and did his thing that we got over the hump. Like, You need that goal scorer. Now, can Messi turn into a goal scorer in the MLS? Absolutely. He knows how to score goals, and he's going to be miles ahead of everybody else in the
That would
league.
be fucking
So,
ridiculous if they moved him up.
well, he could stay where he could be a midfielder and just keep the ball the whole fucking time. Like he's still that good. Like that's the thing that's different between Beckham and him. I leave Zlatan out because Zlatan was I touch the ball, I'm going to shoot. He was all the way as far up as you can go.
Yeah.
Messi's not that style of player, but he's so far better than no offense to Vela, but if you consider him the best midfield offensive midfielder player, whatever Trundle tries to play him as player in the MLS, Messi is leagues better than him, not even close.
Yeah.
So like to have that and just say like just stay in the same spot and then go score. If you watched Antoine Griezmann on France team before they got Mbappe, that's what Messi's going to be to the MLS. He's going to be like, I do everything. If the goalie can stop a couple of shots, Messi will be fine. It's just if they end up losing like 5-3 with Messi having a hat trick and then being like, we can't stop goals. It's like, all right, well then you're gonna suck.
Yeah.
But he'll be able to carry them a little bit. But to your LeBron analogy, soccer's just way harder than basketball to do that.
Yeah.
Like LeBron can get blocks. LeBron can play defense. Messi can play defense, but you need a unit. You need a
Yeah.
keeper. You need the 4 or 5 defenders, however you play, to be a unit. And Messi can't do that. So it doesn't matter how good he is. It's going to be tough in that situation. But he's going to be the best player ever. People are going to come to Miami just to play with him. It's going to be amazing to watch, and I hope he comes over and gets to play as quickly as possible because we have a game in 3 months against him or
I saw
against
something
Miami.
about
So
next season.
yeah, but it's weird because it's so staggered the way that like PSG's season is ending. MLS is like a couple months in, they're around halfway. So it's a weird thing. He could come in if he wants to, or he could just not. Who knows? But they're still working out those deals. But when we made our prediction and we said he was going to take another big money offer, we weren't thinking this is 2023. The modern day offers are big money, even if they don't have big money. So I saw like the hinting of this offer, and it's going to be a partial stake in the team.
Yeah.
It's going to be revenue from Apple TV Plus, any subscribers, like added on subscribers from the day he signs the contract. Any new subscribers, he gets a cut of that, whether they're fucking soccer fans or not. He just gets a cut of. So like it's going to be miles ahead of any probably not Saudi money, but it'll be a lot of money. It's going to look way bigger than his actual contract. So I at least wasn't thinking about that when I was like, well, he's not coming to the MLS yet because he wants that money. I didn't think about he's going to own part of the team. He's going to essentially own Apple TV Plus, and he's gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, isn't that crazy too? Like the the depths of which MLS, because the Apple TV part is the MLS. Like, so that's
Yeah,
the MLS putting their foot into this guy's contract with a team in the MLS. So I
yep.
don't know if that's some kind of collusion or not,
That's
but
that NIL, professional NIL deal right there, baby.
yeah, fuck it. MLS is like, yo, if you can land that deal, we'll give that man some Apple TV. And they're like, oh, word, all right, bet you said it. Like you're
Yeah,
legally
that's the
bound.
thing. Yeah. MLS will be
But
like, we'll just give him 1% of our 5% or whatever it is. Now it's there. So
that's
hey, it'll be fun though. I'm excited.
yeah. That's crazy. And that's the guy already has generational wealth, but that's something there that is going to be coming in. Like, yeah, I forget we saw because he's one of the richer sports people
Hmm.
and he makes like I want to say it was like $33,000 a second or something or
Mm.
a minute maybe. It's something fucking ridiculous. But to be able to add on top of that and to not have to sign a contract, like he doesn't have to sign another
Yeah.
contract to keep that percentage going up. Like that part is going to be there. That 1%, he's going to continue to make past his years when he's 60, 70 years old. He's still going
Yeah.
to have an Apple TV check coming in. He's going to have an Inter Miami check. Maybe if maybe he's going to have to put fork out some money to pay the taxpayers back if it doesn't work out
Now,
or
Miami
whatever
will
happens
always be a
there.
city that'll work
But
in a sense,
but that's crazy. That's like thinking past like
yeah.
the guy probably has $1 billion in savings.
Yeah,
Who
like the Saudi money means a little less to you
But
when you
you know, like
have more
like for
money to
Tiger,
invest.
Tiger's a billionaire, but to find out that he walked away from 800 million, almost another billion, to
Yeah.
for nothing essentially now, you know, but what billionaire wouldn't want another billion? So that's smart
Maybe he hates
on
his kids,
on
dude. And
Messi
he's like, I
and
got enough to live on.
which because like we talked about with the media room you did with Ayla,
Mhm.
um, is this man ever gonna learn uh to take English questions and speak them in
Yeah.
English, or are we gonna have our boy, what's his name from ESPN? Him and Aaron Rodgers have a good relationship. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
For ESPN, Deportes,
Mm-mm.
the announcer dude. But hopefully he'll be there all the time talking to him. That'd be dope. But
Well, I think Messi already knows English, so he knows more
does he?
than Vela does. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Um, but I mean, he'll speak in Spanish mostly, I think. Do Argentinians speak Spanish? I mean, I know he's lived in Spain most of his life for soccer, but um, Argentina's still Spanish, right? It's probably just a
I
different kind
think
of
so.
like dialect of Spanish.
Pretty sure.
Uh,
Hmm.
Um,
I
so
think
yeah,
so.
he'll probably speak Spanish mostly, but I think I've seen him do stuff in English before.
Nice.
But no, it's really exciting. It's cool to see. Just while we're on the soccer topic, I guess we'll say congrats to Club Leon. They did their thing. They made us look bad. Um, I'm not. I mean, it sucks that we lost, and I wanted to win, obviously, but it looked like the better team won. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know that quote unquote the better team won. It's hard to say on paper, but when you watched both games on the field, the team that deserved to win won the game. So shout out to them. They played hard, they played rough, they played that Mexican style where you foul and you say, "Hey, if I get a yellow card, that means that I fouled a guy 7 or 8 times. So I'm still benefiting. That's just the Mexican style. Um, U.S. tries to play a little more finesse. Mexico plays physical, and they played physical, and that's the way to beat LAFC. I'm just hoping that other teams in the MLS didn't see that and go, all right, now we know the way to beat LAFC. You hit Vela in the face, not in the face, but you get up on Bawanga and you say, if you are about to get a breakaway, we're going to trip your ass. And we'll just take a card and somebody else will trip you next time. Like that's just the way you play because it gets in our heads and when you can't play with that beautiful style of soccer that LAFC tries to play with, it's hard, man. We've seen it in basketball with the Miami Heat. The Spurs won many championships doing stuff like that. You just slow the game down and you play physical and then you're able to win. So good job, Club Leon. They were well coached. They had their game plan and they made it happen. They won both legs. They didn't even need like a tiebreaker or anything like that. So good job.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't watch either of them, so I have nothing to say about it except "What the fuck on LAFC, do better." But another soccer thing, Ted Lasso had
Hmm.
their series finale, and I'm sad. That's definitely a show that could go on for 9, 10 seasons and be a show that just goes through his whole coaching career in a sense. But even saying in a sense because it's not really like a soccer show
Right.
for the most part. It's dope as fuck. It's a really good show, and I'm gonna miss it. But yeah, shout out Coach Lasso, Ted, you're the bomb. And
They were at the game. I don't know if Jason
really,
Bateman or whatever his name. Hold on, let me find the text from Jake because I've never watched a single episode of
are you serious?
Ted Lasso, but
Oh,
Jake texted
dude,
me.
do you have Apple TV?
No. Jake said I just saw Colin and Isaac from Ted Lasso. They would just walked by me.
Hey,
So I don't know who Colin and Isaac are, but they were at the game.
that's
So
awesome. He should have said Colin, Colin, and probably would have laughed. But it's a great show. I feel like you and Courtney would really like it. It's a really, really good show. Made me cry a couple different times throughout and definitely the last episode. I cried. I did so good until the end, and he saw a son, and
Well, now that it's
What a
officially over, I'll take that Game Pass like Apple TV 1 month free, and I'll just knock that bitch up, and I'll
Yeah, dude.
cancel this shit.
You should. That's the Travie
We're
way.
out of things to watch right now anyway, because we're caught up. It sucks
Mm.
because we binge watch. Well, Courtney binge watches a lot. And I like to watch live shit. So now we're completely caught up. All we have is The Ultimate Fighter, American Ninja Warrior, and both of those are live every week. So for an entire week, we have nothing to watch. And then like Tuesday, we watch both things, and then we have another nothing to watch. So we gotta find. Maybe we'll get on some Ted Lasso.
So yeah, I'd definitely encourage it to anybody. Doesn't matter if you're not a sports person. It's a really good. If you are a sports, oh, I don't like soccer. Watch the fucking show. It's worth it. It's a really good show. I liked it a lot, and it just sucks that it's just one of those 3-season things. Like it was Apple TV. It's not like Warner Brothers. You're like, oh fuck, we got one that's gonna make us some money again.
Right.
Like it's fucking Apple. They're like, we don't. They, we started this as fun, and now we have fucking sports.
Yeah, exactly. Apple has live sports.
Like
Is that
remember?
copyright?
Oh, that's Hulu. Hulu has
I
live
know, but
sports.
that's what I was saying. Is
Oh
Hulu gonna
yeah.
sue me for saying Apple has
Oh
live
yeah.
sports?
But remember a couple years ago when they came out with Apple TV and people were like, "What? Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck does a phone have a TV
That
app
was
for?"
just because Amazon Prime came out with that with TV. Because Amazon Prime had like movies you could watch, but they didn't do originals and shit. And as soon as they did originals, Apple's was like, "Oh shit, we better get on that."
Yeah, and they have some good ones. Ted Lasso. Fuck, what is it? C, I think, is another one I started watching. They have a space one that's dope as shit. The um, Let's Be Boys or Bad Boys.
Oh, I think I've seen like previews of something like that.
Bad Boys. It's like superhero for adults.
Mm.
It's somebody explodes every episode. It's awesome. It's like this
What was
dude
that other
takes
superhero for
supers.
adults movie or
Oh,
show?
way back in
It
the
was on
day?
like Amazon Prime. No, not way back in the day. It was
Oh, the one that I told you about? Like the
yeah,
first part is just like,
where the
yo,
dad
what
and the
the
kid,
fuck?
or the dad is like
Yeah.
a superhero and the kid is learning his powers. What was that one?
Oh,
That shit was
Invincible?
crazy.
Invincible, I think.
Something like that, yeah. That shit was
Yeah, bro.
crazy.
That one there. Yeah, that Prime's got some good shit. HBO's got some good shit. Um, Netflix, you better have your own password these days. But
Netflix is all about comedy now. At least on my feed. My feed is shit made in Korea and comedy. It's
yeah,
dubbed shit from Korea and comedy. And like that's it, dude.
yeah, I fucking I'm on an animated kick, so I've just been watching a lot of South Park because there's no really new animations. They need a fucking Hoops. They need to do another Hoops. The Netflix Hoops. You haven't
Oh
watched that one
yeah.
yet either?
I did.
Yeah.
All right, well let's get back to sports. I mean, I know
My
hoops, I
bad.
guess, is sports, but
Been fucking 5 minutes
um
on Apple TV.
did you, by the way, this is like a blending of the two. Did you watch the new White Man Can't Jump yet?
I did.
Pretty good. I like the
I
old one
did.
better, but it's pretty good.
Of course, who doesn't always like the original of a
The
remake? But
nostalgia.
yeah, I did definitely enjoy it a lot. Um, oh yeah, we can talk about that too. It's fucking stupid. But I liked Jack Harlow's acting. It was good.
Mm, yeah.
Um, I didn't I don't know if they didn't do it because it's 2023 and everybody's pussies, but they didn't really touch on the hard parts these guys were going through, like the struggles of what they were dealing with, of why
Yeah.
they were out there trying to make
Hustle.
money
Yeah.
and hustle and shit. Like that, it was just all about hustling
Well,
and
they
getting to the
literally
tourney.
like mentioned one time that Jack Harlow's character like got his knee injuries and missed out on playing big. I mean, not one time. They talked about it throughout the thing, but they really like dug into it like for like 2 minutes, and
Yeah,
then he was just like, "I'm outie" or whatever. But like
yeah,
the fact that he had like these anger issues that they were coming out, and then he like fought in the gym, which was funny. And like they never really, it just kind of like they threw it in randomly, and I'm like, he's this like
yeah,
crazy hippie guy because he was angry all the time. Like they should go search that. Let's go see. But they
yeah.
didn't do it.
Like staying in a motel, like in the
Mm.
dumps. Nah, like And then on the other side, dude's just chilling in life. Like, no, Wesley Snipes was not chilling.
Yeah.
Like, so, but as a new movie I'd never seen
Yeah.
before, I can fuck with White Man
Yeah, it
Can't
was good.
Jump.
Yeah, I liked it. But anyways, yeah, I just was wondering because we've talked about that before and now. So okay. So let's move on to basketball. Or actually, before we move on to basketball, you mentioned Tiger Woods. I don't know shit about the business world of golf, but the PGA Tour mixed with Live that and D something. I didn't even know that this was
These
a thing.
nuts.
But
Got
but
him.
a third league. I don't know what the fuck that was about. But they all merged together. Again, I don't know shit about the business world of golf. I watch golf on highlights on SportsCenter Top 10. I enjoy golf. If you want to ever buy me some beers and take me out to the driving range, I will join you 100% of the time. But I don't know shit about golf. But um, what what do you see with this? Like, obviously, some players are still mad, but do you expect professional players to make more money now? Like, that's the whole point of this whole thing, right?
Yeah, and I think so, but honestly, where's the middle ground of and first off, this shit came out of nowhere
Yeah, it did.
because I personally thought Live was not the new. Obviously, they tried it on Warner Brothers like 3 months ago and it failed
Right.
miserably. Um, but when you see the videos of Australia, the Live Golf that went on in Australia, and the the tee box is not.
You're
It's
good.
whoa.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's not
Oh,
like
I thought you were like
the grass is growing. No, it's
with the
fucking.
yeah.
It's like everybody's going nuts. Oh, boom! And then right when he drives, everybody just starts celebrating and shit. And fucking, I think in that video there was a hole in one, I believe, but it was fucking awesome. And I feel like that's what golf could be. And the old whites are very scared of
Yeah.
that because golf is a tradition. It's a proud tradition. It's where white people are able to act like it's the 1600s and they rule everything and they have all these stupid fucking rules and people abide by them because it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
They no, we're quiet, we're proud people. Get the fuck out of here. It's a
You have a guy
sport.
carry your bags for you, like
Yeah,
all this
like
shit.
literally everything about it is like
Yeah.
if you go like it's hard to go to one to where you'll actually see the shit because it's cost like 180, $200. But if you ever get the chance, like you said, if somebody ever like, yo, you want to go play golf? Mine would be like PGA National, Jacksonville, Sawgrass.
I went to
But
Sawgrass one time. Yeah, it was
I did the greens there for like 3 weeks to a month with
oh
my
nice.
brother. But
Jared's dad lives on Sawgrass, so I went there a couple times. But
nice.
went during the TPC, which was dope.
Oh, that's dope
But
as hell. But
yeah,
but you'll see like how just belittling it just like look at it as a belittlement towards the other person, to the workers there, and you'll be like, holy fuck.
right.
Like while Tiger was younger and winning, he couldn't be a member of the
Yep.
Masters.
Yep.
Like
He
because
won
of
the
his
Masters without being able to be a member of it. It's
because of
so
his
fucking
color
stupid.
of his
Yeah.
skin. Like it's crazy. So I figured Liv would always just kind of stay on their own. It's 56 holes, so you're not playing from fucking Wednesday, Thursday to make the cut on Friday or however the fuck
It's
Thursday and
Thursday,
Friday to make
Friday,
the
and then
cut the
yeah.
first Saturday, Sunday. You're not playing 4 straight days. It's fucking 18. Yeah, three
And
times.
every round counts. Like it actually matters every single
Yeah, so
round. So
it's like it's smart. And also they get paid a shit ton. Like a shit ton.
yeah.
And it's a
And they're
base.
contracted to make money, so it doesn't matter if you win
Yeah,
or
it's
lose.
a
If you win,
base.
you make more money, but
Yeah.
if you lose, you're still making your contract, and that was the huge part.
Like I think the one of the lowest people was making like 136 million, and that was
Yeah,
just to go over there and try to win more money. Like
yeah,
that's crazy. That's dope as fuck. So we'll see. PGA is a lot more excruciating. Like we just talked about, 4 days, 18 holes, and I think it's getting different. Like we see Tiger, bringing him back into it. That sim where they kind of sit him and Rory are doing that thing where they hit the
yeah,
simulator for their drives and then they go
yeah,
onto it and set it up onto the little chipping
yeah,
range
and then
they have.
really do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so that I think that would be cool too. Tiger, if they allowed the John Daly rule and he would humble himself enough to get on that cart, that Tiger would be able to go till Sunday. He would be competitive till
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
And with these simulators, the way they're getting now, I will not be surprised if 10 years we have it to where you're on the simulator, you hit it off the tee box into the thing, and then that little you get step off, and then the tee box turns into whatever lie you have.
Yeah,
Like it
exactly.
brings out the artificial green to where it's in the rough or whatever. If it's a slope,
Right.
it slopes it.
You got
Like
some Black Mirror shit going on
like
over there.
that shit's going to happen. Like
Yeah.
thinking about it, you can easily pull out the artificial turf and lower it,
And bring it down.
and
Yeah,
bring
for
it
sure.
down. You can slope it, and if they're able to, like when they can 3D print all this stuff, they can make it to where the surface can move like that,
Oh, yeah,
and
for sure.
and to where you're not really standing on that area, like where the balls lie, like at least a 1 foot diameter around it. So when you're hitting it, it's like you're hitting it on that.
Mm.
Bro, can we stop and start over and we keep that to ourselves? Because that seems like a genius idea to
And
sell.
write that shit into Top Golf or some bullshit
Holy
and
shit.
get that going.
That's crazy.
I don't know any
That's
AI people, but that would be.
I don't want to know any AI people. I want to know tech people. I don't want to
Well,
know.
If Joe steals this from us, we'll be very pissed if he gets rich off
If
of this
he's that
idea.
kind of if he's in that kind of industry, bro,
If he
that'd
knows
be
what he's doing, then by
that'd be
all
dope.
means,
But yeah,
bring it
so
on.
I like it. I would have never thought it would happen. I'm just curious to see what comes out of it. Like, do they just turn the PGA into the PGA Live, and keep the PGA the way it is, and they just all make money, or do they go towards the
Do they try
live
to
to
do the
where, yeah,
teams and shit that the Live did? Like, I don't know.
yeah, like I mean, we'll see. Do they do it to where they have, I don't know, they have the live guys and the PGA guys facing off in that 4-on-4 stuff?
Do you have any clue what the D one was? What the other, or were they just a tag along, ride the coattails, get
No
us in on
idea.
this bitch too?
Maybe they were the middleman. They're like, listen, if we can talk these two fucks into to joining up, and then we can get into it as well, we're gonna make
Now
so
I want to
much
see what
money.
that was, cause like,
They're probably sitting around drinking, smoking. Like, bro, what if we could talk live in PGA into
or
joining
if they
up?
were the only ones that the two liked, so like Live talked to them and PGA talked to them, and then they just like snuck themselves in, like, hey, we're part of this too.
Yeah.
That would be the best. DP World Tour is what they're called. Never heard of that before in my life.
Yeah. Let's
DP
look it
World
up.
Tour. The official site, it's the European.
Oh,
I thought the PGA was all around, like national or international. Oh, it's based in Dubai. So it's Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and then the PGA.
okay.
All right.
Hmm.
So the PGA just said, we need more fucking money. Let's go
Yeah,
jump these two dudes.
that's
That's
crazy.
funny.
Which PGA is disgustingly rich.
I
Um,
know.
to have their players, like to have everybody that participates not be somewhat like well off is insane.
Yeah, for sure. And to be not, actually, I don't want to be fair
I
to the
mean, they
PGA, but if you make the cut, you make a shit ton of money. You don't have to finish high up.
yeah,
You can
Michael Block
finish
got
$50th.
$235,000.
Yeah, just
Like,
for hitting
yeah.
like a hole in one. Or whatever.
No, he made the cut.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, that's crazy as fuck. And yeah, off of that hole in one too, and his whole story, he's going to make a lot more than that this year.
Yeah.
His tax return. Can you imagine being a guy who
Oh man.
paid maybe 2-3 thousand? Maybe he's got good books. Maybe he gets it
Keeps
good
it
throughout the
keeps it
year.
even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and can keep it clean. But now he's gonna be putting out like 50,000 in April next year.
My so one of the partners in my company has a little poster thing on his wall with like a comic strip, and it's like a guy talking to his wife, and he goes, "Can you believe it? I pay more now in taxes than I ever dreamed of making in an entire year." I was like, God damn, I wish I was that lucky,
Yeah,
asshole.
that'd be dope.
Because if you're paying 80,000 in a year in taxes, that means you're making a lot of money.
Hell yeah.
So
I wouldn't mind
yeah,
being part of the 1% at all.
you're part of the 1% if you just include the entire world. Because you're ahead of like all of India and shit, and India's got a
I
lot of
guess.
people. That's how you just got to think about it.
I mean, household. I'm gonna look at it from household. Because 1%, I don't know, it might be up now with inflation.
In America
Yeah.
or in Florida specifically,
No,
because
the
in America it's
1%.
actually pretty low.
Yeah, the
Like just in
1%.
America, it's low, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I'm like right at the fucking poverty line in California, and I'm like 30,000 above the like national poverty line. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
And yeah, California
Yeah,
sucks though.
it doesn't make any sense. It
Uh,
doesn't make any fucking
I'm
sense.
allowed to get like tax credits for being like poor, and I'm like well above the national average. It's so stupid. I don't take the tax credits. I should, but uh, our
That's
household
insane.
is way higher. But if I were a personal, just by myself. All right. So,
If I was by
anyways,
myself, I would have Obamacare.
right. So let's move into basketball. Before we get to the actual basketball, headlines are popping. That's why I'm wearing my Sun stuff. Things are going down. Let's back it up. Let's try to stick with facts with what we know, because I've seen a lot of shit go down. Well, we know that Frank Vogel got hired. I think that's been since we last talked.
Yes.
So I was wrong. I said Kevin Young was that guy. They were trying to keep Kevin Young on staff. I have not seen yet if that's happened or not.
They did.
But
I
it's
thought
probably not, because they hired also David Fizdale, which I'm fucking excited about. So Vogel and Fizdale both get to come in. Vogel is the head coach. Fizdale is an assistant coach. He obviously has been a head coach before, but he most recently was. Where is he at? The Warriors? Wait, where was Fizdale from? He's an assistant coach somewhere. But we hired
was it
him.
the Grizzlies?
Was it the Grizzlies? Because he was the Pistons head coach for a bit. Um, let's see where he came from. But anyway, so we hired these two guys, which is super exciting for me. So yeah, well, the Grizzlies, then the Knicks. Geez, he's done a lot of shit. Um, so what do you? The Lakers is where he just was. That makes sense why he's coming with Vogel then. All right, cool. So he just came from the
Yeah, he is staying.
Lakers.
He is staying with the Suns.
Young
Kevin
is
Young.
staying with the Suns. All right, sweet.
Yeah.
So we have Vogel, Fizdale, and Young
Highest
now.
paid assistant coach. You called that shit.
Hey, at least I did that. All right. So just from a coaching perspective, not talking about players, not talking about personnel, what do you think of the Vogel and Fizdale? We'll keep Young out because we don't know his actual X's and O's, and if he's the third guy in line, he's not doing X's and O's. What do you think of this coaching tandem, really focusing on defense and trying to say we got the studs to play offense? Let's do some defense and see what happens.
Yeah, I like it, and I like the fact that ownership is giving these guys free range to really get what they want to do. Found out today CP3 is getting waived. He's going to be a free
We don't
agent.
know yet fully. Chris Haynes or whatever said that, but now Woj just said that they have sat down and discussed all options with Chris Paul. So we don't know fully, but I believe Chris Haynes. He's usually
Yeah,
in the know.
he's not a Chris. What's the other one? Light skinned dude who tweeted something and then had to recall it.
Oh yeah, I
It
don't know.
happened soon, recently. But anyways, but yeah, they have they're searching trade packages for Aiton.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fact. I actually saw that on Twitter from multiple places after
Yep.
I saw it
Yeah, I've
on
seen
Bleacher
that.
Report. So I like that they're trying to start now and rather than wait a month, 2 months, when basketball operations really start gearing back up. They're trying to get going before the finals or even on game four, which is kind
Same.
of crazy to think about. But yeah, I like it. I think it's for the team they have right now. I think it's going to be really good to have Fizzy there too,
Yeah,
and
dude.
that's going to be an active sideline. with Fizzy and Kevin Young. Like they
Yeah,
were,
that'll be
yo,
fun.
like I want to stand up right now. No, I want
And
to
then
stand up
Vogel will
right
just be
now.
like sitting in the corner doing nothing.
Yeah,
Not doing
yeah,
nothing, but actively doing nothing.
yeah. But that's gonna. I just thought about that. That's gonna be awesome. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for you guys to be able to kind of start from scratch, in the midst of having a championship caliber team at the same time. That's very rare uh to have, and I think it's cool that you are in the situation. Like you see the past teams, we look at the Raptors. They didn't really do a reset. They just kind of bring along and let's try to see what we
Right.
can do. Um, who else? Not the Warriors. What's another team that won? The Lakers. They didn't try to do a full reset. They bring along and let's see what we can do. So these teams that are up there that have won the championships in the past and fired their coaches, they haven't had the opportunity maybe with the freedom from ownership, with them thinking they have all the pieces, just needed the coach difference. I like that ownership is letting them get in there and get active right now. And Vogel ain't playing around. And we know Frank Vogel. He's a good players coach. He's a
Yeah.
stern guy, and he's definitely one of those guys that seems to uh, have a lot of anxiety and want to get shit done. And
Right.
probably was like, bro, just let's hire me in a couple months or just put me in hibernation chamber and wake me up then. Like I don't want to wait. I want to get shit going now,
Yeah.
and it's dope.
Yeah, and to your point, it's really cool that they are sitting down with everybody, it seems like, and just saying like, here's what's fucking up, dude. Like we know Chris Paul, he's been the head of the Players Association. He's been very vocal before. Like the fact that you pull him in and say, we're not happy with what's going down. So here's all the options. Let's figure it out. So right after, I just want to reiterate here, right after Chris Haynes did the tweet saying like that he was told he was going to be waived. I guess our PR team shot something to Woj to make sure that it all gets there. Woj wrote, "The Suns insist that they're still working through several possibilities for Paul's future, and reiterated that to his representatives later. Phoenix plans to explore trade opportunities, including Paul and DeAndre Ayton, that could alter the franchise's roster landscape ahead of the decision." So it's one of those things like, listen, we're trading DeAndre Ayton. We need to keep you on board to see if the other team wants you too. But if they don't want you, we're gonna waive you. I think that's kind of the thing. Um, but it's cool, like truly, like if I were Chris Paul, I'd be pissed because you're missing out on like $15 million, but
Yeah,
or really more because next year is fully non-guaranteed, so you're missing like $50 million, notwithstanding what you're gonna sign for. Um, but that your boss wants to call you in and sit you down and say, here's what's up. Like I'd be very happy with that. I'd be like, all right, like here's what I want. Like if I can't go to these couple teams, just waive me, dude. Like I don't want a piece of that action. But as far as the Phoenix part of it, if we do waive Chris Paul, that allows us $12 million. It's like $12.2 million that we wouldn't be able to use if we kept him on our team. Now that's not going to get you a Chris Paul, but when you have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, $12.2 million is going to get you a really good guy.
yeah,
That's like a Caleb Martin level player. Not that we need Caleb Martin, but that level of player is who you're going to be able to sign, and that's a huge boost if we can get a guy that's a solid like 10 to 12 points, but is going to play 82 games. That's just what we need more than Chris Paul.
yeah, yeah,
So
for
that's
sure.
cool.
And again, I I like the urgency on it. You got to appreciate it and be excited for it. And and yeah, and this is the shit they're doing is stuff that you've been calling for the last 2 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm ready for it. It just makes me ready for next season since we're both just sitting here watching the finals, seeing you guys breaking news. I'm ready. I'm ready to get shit going.
Well, let's talk real quick, just because we don't know. Obviously, DeAndre Ayton makes a lot of money, so there's a lot of potential shit going on. But what sort of bigs could we potentially hope for? I mean, the name that's been out there every time DeAndre Ayton comes up is Miles Turner with Indianapolis, whatever their name is, or Indiana. Um, are there any other big men? Like, would big men? Would we? if Portland wants to get rid of Dame, would we go get Nurkic? I don't want Nurkic, but like, what big man are we looking at? Like, it's got to be Miles Turner, right? I don't even know who else would be, unless it's Clint Capella, maybe. I don't know who we'd go for.
Yeah, somebody like a Clint Capella, John Collins, just
Mm.
like one of those bigger guys. You
They're not
don't.
DeAndre Ayton though, but like in on paper at least.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you don't get DeAndre Ayton on paper either when the
that's
game matters.
yeah,
Like
that's
he
true.
he
DeAndre
just
Ayton's not DeAndre Ayton.
yeah, you
So
could have DeMarcus fucking Cousins. That'd be better, and you could actually sign him.
yeah, right.
But but I mean, honestly, I don't know. There's such a flux with these big men throughout every year. It seems like there's no consistency other than the Joel and the Jokers.
Right, right.
But like every year, like Vucevic will have a good year, Nurkic will have a good year. Like it's just it. I don't know, dude. It's hard to tell. Can you go out and do an eight and for Siakam type thing? That
I don't know that would help us though, because unless you're saying like with our like 10 to 12 million, we could sign another big man that's just serviceable. Like, because Siakam's not going to play the rebounding role, the do it all defensive big man. Like
who's
that's
who's out there that you can go and trade Aiden for? That's what I'm saying.
well,
There's
hear me out
there's
here. What if this team wants we know that they want to make some moves. We know that they have too many people. Like I know that's a weird problem to have, but too many people making big money. What if we reach out to the Orlando Magic and say we'll take Wendell Carter and Jonathan Isaac off your hands. You get a
ooh
big money DeAndre Ayton that will be your starting center the whole fucking time, and you give us two above average big dudes. That'd be solid.
that
Because
would
they're
be
paying Jonathan Isaac way too much money. He's making like $18 million.
yeah.
Carter's really good, but if you're going to make a
He
trade for Ayton, you have to put somebody
Wendell
that's
Carter
good.
was hurt a little bit this year too.
Yeah. I think that would be better to get two mid-level dudes that can play an Ayton spot.
Is
And the
Jonathan
Magic would
Isaac
love to
gonna
get
play
somebody
ever
like that.
again though?
I don't know. Maybe. He plays defense. Well, when
No,
he is
like
able to come
he
like that.
hasn't played in like 3 years now. He tried to play
He
and
has
got hurt
been
again or
set to
some
come
shit.
back. Yeah, he's got the Zion syndrome where he gets set to come back and then he like practices and breaks something else and then he's gone again.
Shit's crazy.
It said 2 months ago, Isaac expects to be ready for the start of the 2023-24 campaign. He's set to be ready. He's ready to be ready, bro. No, that would be cool. I think the Magic are looking to be buyers. I really do. I think they want somebody.
Yeah.
Because they got a little bit fucked in the draft, and so they're gonna try to pair Paolo with well Paolo and Franz with a veteran and say
Do you
let's go
think
get it.
anything happens draft night?
Yeah, I think Charlotte trades their pick. I just if it's gonna be Scoot and LaMelo don't work together. So either Charlotte says we want LaMelo and they trade their pick, or they say we want Scoot and they trade LaMelo. Both of those spots are on the option, but I don't think they could keep both. Now, if Brandon Miller falls to them, then who knows? I don't know. I still don't know that they'll take Brandon Miller with all the Miles Bridges shit, but um, if it's Scoot, I don't think they take him. I think they trade. So I'm looking at those. Maybe Portland even. Portland could potentially trade also.
Could you imagine how much Michael Jordan would hate Miles Bridges if Brandon Miller fell to them and they couldn't even take him because of his ass?
I mean, they would take him. Jordan's just waiting to sell the team anyway. He doesn't care. Is Jordan? No, I guess a lot of Magic Johnson was bad. He's good in other sports, but like Jordan's like the worst executive that was like an amazing player.
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter intentionally sabotaged his team though. I think that I think he bought a team and then traded everybody away on purpose.
That was crazy.
But
R.I.P. to the
now, like I
Marlins.
said, they got a guy batting 402, so whatever. He's happy about that.
That's just insane.
The fact that he
Nah.
traded Stanton to the Yankees, I'm not gonna get over it. He fucking did that shit on purpose. He just wanted to help
Duh.
out the Yankees. That's not being a bad GM. That's being shady. Jordan's just bad.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas is pretty fucking bad. And he's in fucking Matt Ishbia's ear. So that sucks. But he was pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree
When
with
he
that.
was the Knicks, right? Was it
One
Knicks?
of the better players to go into those roles would be I can't think of his name right now. Your boy.
James Jones?
Yes.
It's never the superstar players, is what I'm saying. It's the Ty Lue's gonna be good. Like obviously he's a good coach. He's gonna move up to the front office one day probably. The Brad Stevens is the like okay players. That's
Yeah.
the guys that are gonna be good executives. Alonzo Mourning does pretty good. Doing
Yeah.
his thing. I think he's still just kind of like a coach, but he's like a director of player operations type shit. He does all right. So
It's Pat's bitch.
pretty much, yeah. Pat's like, you just sit there and be a pretty face, and I'll take care of all the business. But all right. So, anyways, I don't know how long we've been going because I didn't start my timer. So let's get to the
I
actual
think we got it
games.
like 23 minutes, so we're doing pretty
Okay,
good
so
right
we're at
now.
like 40 right now ish.
Yeah.
So let's get to the real games. Game 3 just happened. We're gonna be ahead of the curve when we release this. We'll be with the media cycle. So now
Crazy.
the Nuggets are up 2-1, and I expected sort of the series to be 2-1. I didn't expect Miami to win in Denver for game 2, but tonight reminded me that this is exactly what I expected to happen. We had 2 triple doubles, both of which on the Nuggets. Jokic had a 30, 20, and 10. Murray, of course, was the other triple double. And I texted you during the game. I said, Jokic and Murray decided, all right, we tried to give everybody a chance and we fucking lost. So
Yep.
now we'll just take over for a few games. Don't you worry. Um, and that's essentially what happened. Obviously, it was more nuanced. It's a real sport. It's a tough game. But that's essentially what happened. What do the Heat do from here now? Because you now see Jokic said, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And if Murray's hitting, you can't stop him. It doesn't matter if you stop Michael Porter Jr. Nobody cares about him.
The Heat have to make shots. They can't make fucking shots. It's
Caleb Martin
depressing.
did for like 2 minutes.
It's depressing. Yeah, Max Drews couldn't, Bam couldn't, Jimmy's like their efficiency isn't good. Let me see here. Let me go back to it. Where is it? Haha. That was actually relatively easy. All right, cool. Bam. 22 points on 21 shots. They'll give him that all day. Jimmy Butler, 28 points on 24 shots. Well, I'll give you that all day. Matt Strus, 3 points on 7 shots. Can you please do that every game? Like, I'll give you that all day. Like, these efficiencies aren't good. Kyle Lowry 4 for 8, but he 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 got old fast.
Yeah,
But
he
it's
did.
just it sucks but they need to become more efficient offensively. Their defense, they're trying. They're only giving them 109 in a win. They're doing
Yeah.
what they can, but you have to hit more shots. You can't be mad. They were in the game pretty much the whole time. You could just tell like the Nuggets weren't going to lose that game. Like the Heat just could not hit their shots. They couldn't find a run. They couldn't get any kind of momentum going at all. And that's I mean, it seems simple, but they have to hit shots if they have
The
to.
make or miss league. That's what they
Yeah,
say all the time.
it's they're doing good on defense. Spo's their coach. You can't say anything about their coaching. Like they have to just be more efficient. They're getting open shots. They're getting good shots. Bam, maybe settling a little bit more from that like 10-foot area,
Well, it's
but
crazy because I watched the whole game, but I specifically paid attention to the Jokic Bam matchup for a solid about 10-minute stretch. And Bam dropped 22 tonight. He played really well, but he was trying to do exactly what Jokic does and do this weird like curl guy in your face, shoot a weird free throw jumper. And that's not his game. And he was missing. And then it would go down the other end and Jokic would hit that shot, the whatever they call it, the Slovenian slide or whatever the fuck it's called, that he does off the 1 foot, make it. Then Bam would do the exact same thing and it would hit front rim and out. And I'm just like, That's gonna mess him. If he's trying to be Jokic, he can't do that. 7 for 21 is not good enough shooting. He's got to be
Yeah.
Bam. He's got to play defense and he's got to get to the basket. So it's weird to see him, and I don't know if that's because Jokic is playing him well on defense necessarily. I don't know how big men work. I'm not a big man, but I just saw that he was settling, like you said, for the same shots that Jokic does, and he's not Jokic. He can't settle for those shots.
Yeah, he was definitely settling. Jimmy, I gotta give him credit. He didn't give them too much opportunity to his teammates too much opportunity before he started trying to put his own work in, and that's what he needs to do. But they have to be more efficient somehow, some way. It's not like the Nuggets are great defensive team.
Hmm.
And you watch the game, you can see the Heat are getting good shots off. It's not like every possession is broken. No, they're finding their spots. They're just not. Yeah, unless you're Duncan Robinson, he seemed to be
He's
fucking
fine.
yeah, but he just fucking wasn't able to like. It seemed like he's running like he think he's faster than he really. I don't know, but he like wasn't. He just kept getting every time he'd get the ball and try to get around the screen. Somebody was right in his face half the time. He's like, "Fuck, all right, do it again." Fuck. But yeah, they were getting open shots. They just got to hit them. That's the only thing,
I
which
didn't notice
sucks.
because I stopped watching right before the end of the game, but Haslam got to play.
Hey,
He logged a full 0 minutes, but he was 0 for 1 from the field, so he got a shot off
that's awesome.
in his 0 minutes. But hey, whatever. Good shit. Getting to
That's
play in the
hilarious.
finals at when you're 40 years old is pretty cool.
Yeah, what a life, huh?
42 years old. You remember watching him in college. How are we fucking so old?
It sucks.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
So when was he in college then? Late 90s? When was it when he went to college?
No,
Early 2000s? When was
20
it?
years ago. It's early
Yeah, he was
2000s.
drafted in 2003. So yeah, late 90s, early 2000. That's what I fucking said. Why are you giving me such a hard time?
Damn, so he
Uh,
just missed out on the back-to-back.
no, he was a couple years, like 4 years off, like a whole college
Oh, really?
career. Because it was 05, 06, and 06, 07, right? Or was it?
I was thinking of 405, 06, 07.
I know that 06 was one of the years. I don't know if it was the first year or the second year. But anyways, he was
I'm
a
thinking
little
of
bit off.
405, 06, 07.
No, it would have been 05, 06, 06, 07. Yeah, that's
Ah,
what it was. 05, 06, 06, 07.
all
So if he
right.
was 02, 03, so yeah, he was 3 years early. But I mean, he led the way. He led the way for
Yeah,
those guys to come there.
uh,
So good shit, Udo. Doing
Mike
your thing.
Miller's.
Man, I remember we would have been what, 10? No. When the fuck was I born? Yeah, so I'd have been like 10 to 12.
I was 13
You
when
were
he
a
got
little.
drafted. 12 when he got drafted, 2003.
That's crazy. I would have been 14. So yeah, 12 to 10 to 14 was when we watched him. That's pretty crazy. I feel so
Yeah.
old, man. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
it's crazy.
Anyways, all right. So back to the games. We keep getting sidetracked.
All right.
Um, the Nuggets tonight looked far and away better. We talked about it. Um, we know that you said that the Heat have to hit shots. Now they have to win 3 out of the next 5 games, or 3 out of the next 4 games. Is this possible for them to win 3 out of 4?
It is. It is definitely possible.
3 out of 4 is tough.
It is
I know
tough,
they're only
but
down 2-1, but
this
they
isn't
get
it. But like when you think it's not a team full of like prima donnas or anything like that. Like their
mm.
superstar isn't going to be like, oh, we're down, we're not going to win. Look at us. No, he's gonna be like, what the
And
fuck? We
he's
just
not
need
gonna
three
be
more.
like you guys suck either. Like he's not gonna
Yeah,
be like an asshole like Kobe would be.
yeah. So like he's gonna be like, yo, we need three more. Like we're good. We just need three more. Like he's never worried. They lost three straight games to the Celtics, and he smiled at the end of
Mhm.
every game. They have pictures of him smiling at the end of every fucking game. Like the dude doesn't get worried. And they're not like superstars who get in their mind. These are literal guys who have chips on their shoulders, who are always their whole lives have been going out there grinding, and they're in NBA Finals. They're going. they're going to go out there and put out all their effort they can, even if they don't win another game. The next 2 games, they're going to go out fighting their asses off. But hey, no, they're one more. If they win one more game, it's a tie series again.
Right.
It's back to 0. So
Well,
I mean,
if you're Spo, you said the reason that they lost was they missed shots, they got open shots. That's not a coaching thing. You can't give them any more open shots than open shots. So if you are Spolstra, what sort of adjustments, if any, do you make, or do you just say we got to hit our open shots? I mean, obviously he's going to make some adjustments. So what adjustments would you think to make?
just probably try to get the ball down faster. Maybe not so much try to rely on a half court set and
Mm,
see if they can get out there running. The Heat are really good at doing that. They're really good at getting out in transition. And hey, listen, we know the Nuggets are going to make baskets, but they're not making all their baskets. When they're not, let's try to get the fuck out on transition at every play, no matter who's getting the rebound. Because everybody on that court, for the most part, besides Duncan, can carry the ball down the court.
yeah.
So. I that's what I would probably try to key into and working on transition. We know Jokic is trying to lug his ass down there, maybe get even more easy fouls on him quick and early. That would probably be my thing. Try to get out of the half court. Like all that's working. We're just not putting ball in basket. Let's get on transition. Try to get at the free throw line. Try to get some quick easy layups and catch them off guard and maybe even get an open three.
Yeah. No, similar to your point, I'd start off just by literally telling them, like, listen, 109 points is enough. That's what
Yeah.
we're fine with them scoring 109 points. We fucked up. We can beat that team if they score 109 points. But then when you actually go into the strategy mode, I think honestly, I'd use Bam more as like a decoy. I don't need him shooting 21 fucking shots. I would
Yeah.
pull Jokic out of the thing. I'd use him to set these high screen and rolls, and I'd have similar to your run fast, but even in the half court, get Jokic out at the 3-point line and put him on his fucking heels and just get to the basket. Let Gordon do crazy shit, whatever. He'll get in foul trouble. He got in foul trouble against Phoenix. He got in foul trouble against LA. He can do that. Just run at their face. The slow pace, while that's Miami's game, it's not working because they're scoring just less than Denver's scoring. I'm looking at my picture this whole fucking time instead of the camera. Um, like they're just
I do
not
that too. I
scoring
don't ever look
enough.
at this thing.
So like, but I would definitely encourage them. I'd be like, if the Nuggets score 109 again, we're gonna win every game that they score 109 points. They got their one win scoring 109.
Yeah.
But yeah, go a little faster. That's not the Heat's game, but they have the players that can do it. And yeah, I'd tell Bam, I'd say 21 shots is probably 5 too many. Take 15, 16 shots, and even if you still only make 7 of 15, we're good. 7 of
Yeah.
21, not so much. So that's maybe the adjustment I'd change, is to let him kind of focus on defense. You don't need to take 21 shots, and we'll take care of you on the offensive side.
I agree.
All right. So what
Look
else
at
do we got
us.
before we get out of here?
Fuck.
If either of those two things happen, by the way, we're gonna clip that shit and we're gonna send it to somebody. Try to get a college coaching job or something.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That would be absolutely dope. Like, see, they're going with a high and Bam's coming downhill. Bam, look at that shit.
If
Look at
if
us.
they score like 25 in transition and Bam shoots 7 for 15 exactly, we're just gonna send both clips in and be like, look, they did exactly what we said.
Spo, I'm only an hour away, dog.
I'll
Only an
just be a
hour away.
consultant. Shit. You just call me, do a 1 hour Teams meeting after every game. I'll take $2,000 an hour. Just I'll do one after every game. 82 games a year, I'm good. That's straight.
Hell yeah. That'd be dope as fuck.
For real. All right, anyways.
I forgot what else. I felt like there was something else, but
I don't have shit else.
me neither. I don't even really have a shout out.
Me neither.
We suck.
Well, like all the shout out that I would talk about is shit we actually talked about.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, they're one win away, so I can't fully shout them out. But how about this Oklahoma girls softball team, bro?
Yeah,
52
bro.
straight wins. Like,
Yeah.
and no
And
knock on
fuck the Knowles.
FSU, but they're gonna
Yes,
lose
very much
again.
Knox.
Yeah, knock on FSU. They're gonna lose again. But when it's 53 straight wins, um, this Oklahoma fucking team, listen, I understand that they're stacked. I understand that there's these women that there's not professional softball that they have to leave for, not real professional softball. So they're staying in college. So when you get this stud ass team that's playing in college and staying in college all 4 years, you're going to get wins. But nobody does 52 in a row, potentially going to be 53. They have one loss. They are 60-1, which reminds me, that's a lot of fucking games in a college
Yeah,
softball season. But
that
anyways,
is.
that's a different story. Uh, but 52 straight wins, that's fucking amazing. We don't see that. I mean, what's the longest win streaks we've seen in just sports in general? 52 has to be up there, right? For
Yeah, it
us in
does.
our lifetime. Because obviously the UCLA Bruins basketball did their 88 or whatever. But in our lifetime, it's in the 20s usually with basketball.
Yeah.
So
Football,
yeah,
same thing. Usually in
52 is
college, you'll
the
usually get around
Yukon
the
the Yukon
20.
basketball team was probably the longest streak we ever watched. And
The
that was
women's, yeah.
around 50 something, right? That
Yeah.
was in the high 50s, I think I want to say.
Yeah.
So they're getting there. I mean, this is one of the best streaks we've ever seen. And I never watched a game until the softball, whatever they call it, College World Series thing.
Yeah.
And I only watched because it said they've won 50 straight. Let's watch it again. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I watched like 2 innings, and I'm like, damn, these girls are good. And then I move on to something else. But shout out to them, man. They took care of business. And listen, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're expected to do great things. Doing great things is still amazing. Like they were the odds-on favorite to win everything. They were the champions. Everybody called them the champions before the game even started, and they said, "What can we do better? What can we do to still be a headline even when we're doing the expected?" So that's kind of the thing. Like when you are doing the expected, that's cool. But how about go up and above and beyond and be even greater than the great expectations that people might set on you? Don't get knocked down by expectations, but rise to them and then rise above them. Be like Oklahoma softball. And as always, be a stud, not a scrub.